Test, test. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're going to try something again. I don't know how many people are there, and I apologize for the complications. I'm trying to figure this out myself. We are getting there. We got one problem solved, which was the weird double screen thing. Now I just need to figure out how to get OBS working. That's the main problem that I'm having right now, or not OBS, but VTube Studio. That's the one I need to figure out how to get running, especially since a Mothman redeem was all set up and such. Not that playlist. Although I like Doom, I'm not looking for that playlist. Or not Doom, Dusk. I haven't played Doom yet, but that's not important right now. Okay. Is the music playing? Maybe. Oh. No, it is not playing yet. Okay, that part's playing. Okay, so we're almost there. We just need to fix one last thing. Start without Steam. And hopefully this works. Apologies for the complications there, folks. We just need to fix up this last part, and hopefully this fixes up all the issues. Yes, that's the one. And it's connected. Okay, we're back. We're back. It may have taken God knows how many years to get it done, but we're back. Whew. Also, we got to give a good number of shoutouts because I did not do that yet. I apologize for the confusion and the inconvenience there, folks. Wait, we are streaming, right? Let me double check on that. Because I want to make sure that that's actually running. Okay, and that part's running. Whew. Welcome back. Thanks there, Umbra. All right, let's give a couple of shoutouts. Also, anyone who's there, just refresh the stream if you're trying to earn them points. And let's give a couple of shoutouts here because we got to give a bunch of shoutouts, especially to Bambi over here. Bambi's been shouting us out in multiple places, multiple times. We're getting them back for all of that. Go check them out. They also do a lot of art. They play a good variety of games, all that funny stuff. Let's also give a shout out. Actually, Umbra, I've been seeing you streaming too. Let's give a shout out to you as well. Because I've seen that you've been playing a lot of the whatchamacallit. What's the other word I'm looking for? The Hollow Knight. Been seeing that you've been playing that. How's the Hollow Knight, by the way? Let's also give a shout out to how many other folks do we got here? Let's give a shout out to Slime. We're just gonna drop a bunch of shout outs and then we're gonna finally get back to the drawing. What's the word I'm looking for? Slimy Bones, because I know they do the streaming. Let's also give a shout out to Shadow Jira, because if I'm correct, I saw them streaming last time, and that's where you should be dropping your taxes. Go pay the shadow tax and all of that. Whew. We're getting there little by little. What's this notification? I don't care. Get this out of the way. Let's also give a shout out to Brina. They play a good variety of games. If I'm correct, I saw them streaming earlier today. What were they playing, though? I know I saw something, but I can't quite remember. But I remember seeing them playing something. And with that, I think we caught up with everybody. Let's see. But yeah, that being said, good to see you there, Bambi, Jira, Slimy Bones, Umbra, Zelda, Brina. We're trying to catch everybody's name. Spock, Mothman. Hey, Mothman, welcome on in. Folks, go check out Mothman as well. They also do art. They also play a good variety of games. If you're a fan of Expedition 33, this is a good place to go. They've been playing a lot of that, as well as the Elden Rings. We're getting there, slowly but surely. We're catching up with everybody. Little by little, we're gonna get there. Whew. All right, we caught up with everybody. I don't know how many people know that the stream is back, but yeah, we're back. Stuff happens, it's okay. That's fair, that's fair. Okay. Now that we're back, I apologize, folks. How is everybody's weekend again? I kind of lost all of that. Oh, right. If I'm correct, there was a redeem for a Mothman. So we got to add Mothman right quick. Hold on a minute. Where is Mothman? Mothman. There's no need to feel down, I said, Mothman. Lift that man off the ground, I said, Mothman. 'Cause you're in a new town and there's folks to be abducted. Abducted? Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah, that's the word. Anyway, let's put the Mothman back to where he goes. We're just going to toss him right over there. Perfect. Whew. That... Not gonna lie, I think that was the most scuff I've had in a really, really long time. Also, I'm looking at the number of subs that just got dropped today. No more scuff, no more scuff. We're free of the scuff finally. Hey, Lil, welcome on in. Hey, guess what? Shout out. Go check out Lil. They play a good variety of games. Really awesome people. And I hope you've been enjoying the Lampy plushie. I hope it's the pillow that you expected it to be. I want to say the Lampy plushies are relatively soft. I think you could throw a Lampy plushie on somebody and they wouldn't get hurt. You would have to throw them really, really hard in order to hurt somebody with a Lampy plush. Or fill a Lampy plush with rocks, then, you know, problem solved. Or if that is the thing you're trying to figure out. All right, let's see. Stuff happens, it's all right, Lampy. Thank you there, Brina. Thank you for the understanding. Yeah. It's just always rough to deal with, though. It sits on the guest bed, and the cat naps with it. Fantastic, fantastic. That cat's keeping an eye on that Lampy, like, you know what you're trying to do? You're trying to steal all the snacks in the house. Well, the problem is, those are my snacks. That's why that cat's just watching them like, I see you. You're not getting those snacks. Not before I do. Whew. They are perfect cuddle size? I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. All right, let me see. Next thing we got to do. We need to finally get started on the drawing. Because that's what the stream is all about. It's supposed to be about drawing. And if I ain't drawing, then am I really doing what the title at the bottom says? I don't think so. But let's get started on that. I got the right background color for this? Nah, not yet. There we go. This should be good. Now, time to make a new layer. We're going to call this one Robot Duck. You know what? Yeah, actually, no. We're going to stick with Robot Duck for this one. Background color? Yeah, that should be good. Perfect. Oh, right. Also, let me check what Umbra said earlier. Okay, and Silksong has been testing my patience a lot lately. Really? Has it been that difficult? I've heard it's been pretty tricky. I've heard it's been a rather rough game. Fun, but rough. Speaking of testing of patience, that's actually what I was dealing with earlier yesterday when I was playing Elden Ring. Okay, so I went back to regular Elden Ring because I really wanted to just fight the old bosses, try to get some of that Death Blight magic, and try to figure out, can I make this work in this game? Obviously no, because Death Blight, for those of you that don't know how Death Blight works, it's a status effect that when the bar fills up, it kills you. I'm not even joking, it just straight up just instant death if that bar fills up. However, that instant death bar only applies to player characters and other NPCs similar to said player character. And even then, even that has a few small exceptions, which is... Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, let's switch to the bat wings for... Actually, no, let's switch to the bird wings for Mothman, now that I think about it. Oh, I can't because Lampy gets sad. Lampy doesn't like birds. Apparently. And apparently, Lampy is really not amused by bats. Really doesn't like the lane because personal space. Alright, so can't really use any of those things. What about this? Eldritch Abomination apparently gives Lampy pain, so can't really go with that one either. Alright, Mothman just stays regular Mothman. That's the only one the Lampy model is content with. So we'll just stick with that. Anyway, going back to it. Well, actually, first, before we get to talking about nonsense, I should probably explain what we're doing today. Alright, so one of our good buddies Ryu, they've been here for practically since the beginning of this channel. Because of that, I wanted to show some support there. Then, because they asked, like, hey, I've been here for God knows how many years. What do I get? And I'm like, let me think about that one. And since they were one of the ones that were here at the very, very start, from our humble beginnings to our also humble current, because I'll be honest, this ain't a big place. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because again, like I said, that's not the point. That's not the point. Anyway, the point being is, they requested something and I said, you know what? Okay, tell you what, I'll draw one thing for you. And they requested that we draw a funny doodle of... how do I put it? The robot chicken scene, except replace the chicken with their character and replace the crazy doctor with Lampy. Kind of makes sense. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. So one, let's draw that crazy doctor shape. Except we're going to need to toss in a couple more Lampies in there. Or, you know, maybe toss in a couple more figures there. Then we got to toss a duck over here. And we're going to make them look like DD Crow from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I think that's going to be funny. Because they really don't like the DD Crow. Because for some reason, somehow, some way, I always end up with one in my... whatchamacallit? Hey, Bambi, welcome back. Hey, guess what? Shout out. Folks, go check out Bambi. They play a good variety of games, really awesome people, really awesome stuff, really great community, and overall just really swell person. And yeah, I'm getting you again for that because of all the other times you got me multiple times. This is what's called revenge. Yeah. Love revenge. Alright, now back to the project at hand. What we needed to do was make the whole... what's the word I'm looking for? Robot chicken scene. Or at least try to make a very similar robot chicken scene. Oh yeah, also, they mostly asked not because they've been here for so long, but more so because they've been subscribed here for so long. And they were one of the ones that were subscribed since the beginning. So I was like, yeah, okay, we could probably show some support somehow, some way over here somehow. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to draw, but we're going to figure something out. Right now, we first got to work on a sketch. I got to draw some duck hands. Some duck feathers, something like that. Also, what on earth is going on with this thing? Let's zoom in, because kind of messing with the pen pressure. Okay, honestly, I would be worried, but for the most part, even if this thing kind of falls apart, there's a backup tablet. Actually, wait, before I worry about before I start saying, nah, it's fine, we got a backup tablet in case this thing falls apart on me, I need to test out that backup tablet, because I got it, I picked it up. Okay, hold on a minute, we're going to save, we're going to call this Robot Duck, we're going to close the whole program, we're going to try this again. Because I feel like this is one of those things where the tablet is messing up on us because it is rejecting pen pressures from time to time. We don't want that. You can Kamehameha all you want. You're getting the shadow. Anyway, so now that we talked about the concept of what we're drawing today, now I can start talking about that other stuff, which was... Wait, what were the things I was talking about? Okay, one, I was playing Elden Ring because I wanted to try out that Deathblight stuff. And like I said, that's supposed to be an instant kill, so long as you use it on other humanoid NPC-like characters. Not even humanoid NPCs. It's more so enemies that fall under the category of the same... How do I put it? Enemies that are just like you. But you find a good number of them in the game, so you can use this ability on some of them. But since it only works on enemies that are just like you, that means this one spell or these spells or these abilities that do Deathblight only work on 20% of the enemies in the game. Which means when I get the opportunity, I have to exploit it for all it's worth. And that's what I'm currently trying to do with this current run in Elden Ring. Or, yeah, this current run that I'm playing right now. By the way, I'm playing this one offline, so no one has actually seen it. Gun. Thank you for redeeming gun. Hold on a minute. Actually, let's put this back over here. Now we put gun. And let's give a shout out to Mooney, because Mooney deserves a shout out. Welcome on in there, Mooney. How you be? I hope you're having a good day. Also, pumpkin? All right, we got to add a pumpkin again. All right, let's add pumpkin over here. Where is pumpkin? Which, by the way, folks, if you like the pumpkin, or if you like the Mothman model that you see right over there, Fast Flutter. Thank you for redeeming Fast Flutter. But yeah, if you like the Mothman that you see there, or the pumpkin that you see there that have the red eyes, the green eyes, I messed that one up, goopy face, and even, oh, it didn't work. You know what, since that one's there, maybe this will work now? Nope. It still lags because the model switches. Either way, point being is, it's got the bat scream animation, it's got some goopy eyes. You could even put the red eyes on top of the goopy eyes if you really wanted to. But yeah, you could find those two models over there available on the Etsy and the vgen page at very affordable prices. I think they're like 10 bucks. So yeah, if you wanted those little models over there for your channel at any point of time, feel free to pick them up. They'll be there, though they are probably best for Halloween. They'll be there all year, so you can pick them up whenever. I'm back. Hi, Lampy. Yo, Mothman, welcome back. Let's give a shout out to Mothman again, because I did a lot of shout outs when my stream was scuffed, so I don't know if any of these shout outs actually got through. So let's do it again. Folks, go check out Mothman. They do the Arton. They play a good variety of games. They do the, they play the Expedition 33 and the Elden Rings. Really fun stuff over there. They also do IRL painting, so if you want to check that out, I highly recommend that you do. Also, Sherbert, welcome on in. We also got to give one more shout out to Sherbert. Go check out Sherbert. Really fun streams over there. Very chill. They also do Arton. And if you look at their model, it was drawn by them and rigged by yours truly. It was an honor to work on that rig too, by the way. And if you're a fan of No Man's Sky or Pokemans, that's a good place to go. I still have the Karibo model for when my PC can handle VTube Studio. Nice. I look forward to seeing that day come. Someone go support the Then we'll go support Umbra. Gun? Gun. Wait, yeah, you're right, my gun. There you go. Thank you. Alright, thank you for catching me on the gun. I forgot that the gun disappeared. Also, thank you. Yeah, no problem. And Bambi, thank you for redeeming Fast Flutter. Sherbert, thank you for the hydrate. Umbra, thank you for the hydrate and the posture check and the stretch. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. And no, thank you for stopping by. Greatly appreciate it. Alrighty then, let me see. We're gonna get back to the drawing at hand over here. Oh, right, and last but not least, I forgot to mention, everyone who contributed to the hype train earlier today, I apologize that it popped up at the worst possible time. And second, I thank you all greatly for the support. It is greatly appreciated. Save your money, though, but it's all greatly appreciated. So yeah, that goes to everybody who supported. Thank you there, Umbra, Jira, I'm trying to see all the names that supported there. Thank you there, Jira. That's Jira again. That's Umbra. That's Jira and Umbra just messing around at that point. Thank you to you. Or yeah, thank you there, folks. I greatly appreciate it. All right, let me see. Thank you for the shout out, lovely. Thank you, Mothman, for the support. I greatly appreciate it. Save your money. Oh, that reminds me. Wait. I just realized the text-to-speech did not work. We are not going to cheat you out of that because that would be messed up. Hold on a minute. We're going to get that text-to-speech running. Thank you for making me realize that that was not set up.
Get supported.
Make me. All right, let's see. How do you have a text-to-speech setup? Okay, so I have this one program called VTSPOG. And you gotta set... So there's a couple of ways how you set that one up. While I'm talking about that, I'm just gonna sketch up things for a bit. So the way you set that part up is that once you get the program, you gotta go into VTube Studio, and you gotta do two different things. One... Well, okay, actually, with VTSPOG, if you don't plan to have a model set up for that, then you could just set that thing up, or maybe other programs, I don't know. But yeah, let's say we're just working with VTSPOG for this one. If you don't have a model to use the text-to-speech on, but you want to use text-to-speech regardless, then yeah, just set up VTSPOG, and it should just run on its own. If you wanted it to run with a specific model of yours, then what you need to do is go into your VTube Studio. Let me see if I can figure this out right here. Go into your VTube Studio, go to the little pink cog. And I can't show any of this because safety reasons, just to be safe. What's the other one I'm looking for? You'll still stay on the main cog number, and it should show something that says... Where is it? Something about plugins. VTube Studio API, allow plugins. You would go to your plugin commit or permissions and stuff, and it should show a program there. Something along those lines. It'll probably ask, hey, do you want this plugin to work? You just put yes, you get that set up. And then things get a little more complicated because now you got to work on the model that the text-to-speech is for. That one's a little more tricky to explain, at least. I'm trying to figure out, how do I explain that one properly? Maybe I need to set up a video for that in the future. Okay, so... what you would need to do is have your mascot model or your secondary model become your main model for 1 second, or for a moment. Select that model not as an item, but as your actual model for the moment. Go to that cog wheel again. And it should be... Oh, yeah. This part I think I should be able to show. So we could actually go right over here right quick. There it is. Okay, so when working on your model, you just go to that cog number. You go over here to where it shows the little person and the little cog afterwards. And then you got to go find 2 specific things that your model should have set up in VTube Studio around here. Where is it? Auto rotation? No, no, no. No, not that, not that, not that. Hold on a minute. Maybe it's not on this part. Which I'm surprised about. Yeah, maybe it's not on this part. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna figure this out. Oh, it should be in the tracking. No, not in the tracking either. Go back over here. So yeah, it should be in the ranges. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so I figured out where the problem is. Can't show right now is because the current model that I'm using, the Lampy model, doesn't have a mouth. And in order for that text-to-speech stuff to work, you needed a mouth. And since there's no mouth on Lampy, it's not over here. So I'll just say, you go to that little cog up there, and you scroll around until you see mouth form and mouth open and those parts. Tell you what, I'll just make a video out of it because I feel like that would be a better spot to put all of this because at the moment, the current model is not able to show any of that stuff right now. I will have that set up at another time. But long story short, VTSPOG, that one should be the program that should help you get some sort of text-to-speech model work. Don't remind me. I gotta set up a video for that setup thingy. All right. Without further ado. Oh, you know what? I know what I need to do here. Especially since we just needed the figure. We're just gonna have some fake arms here, or the oversized sleeves. Yo, Heart Knight, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. We are currently just making a very, very dumb sketch of robot chicken stuff. And I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy your stay, and I hope you enjoy the stream. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. I hope that made some semblance of sense, because I realized, yeah, I'm the best of spots to explain that one, but I will try. Okay, let me look up that robot chicken scene right quick. Robot chicken. Robot chicken and doctor. I'm assuming they're a doctor. Ah. I am trying to find the right scene here. Ah, here we go. I found the image I was looking for. Let me see. Open image in new tab. There we go. This is the one I'm looking for. And we're just going to toss that right over here. Jesus, that's tiny. Let's increase the size a little bit. There. We got what we were looking for. Yo, Tron, welcome on in. How you be? Oh, let's see. Let me try to catch up some things. It made sense enough for me to be able to get started on it. Fantastic, fantastic. Also, if you have trouble waiting, there are some YouTube videos out there. Although I will say, That is the one thing that it has been a big struggle when it comes to a lot of like a lot of the technical resources when it comes to anything like VTubing related stuff. It's actually kind of difficult to find very, very specific things on YouTube for it, or anywhere in general for it, except for maybe Twitter. For the most part, the only thing I usually see on, like, okay, when you're trying to figure things out, they do have the basics, they do have some advanced stuff. The more advanced stuff is very difficult to find, but they do have some advanced stuff there. But when it's like some very specific things, when it comes to tutorials and stuff, they barely have anything. And when it comes to the other technical things on the side, like, hey, can I make this work? Can I make that work? How do I get the text-to-speech stuff working? It's there, but it's difficult to find. But if you were looking for drama, boy, do they got mountains full of it for you. They got everything, every little detail, even the ones that should have been between the two parties. But boy, do they have all of that. And I'm just thinking, why are we looking at this instead of trying to figure out how do we can we get to the part where we know where we advance these things and we teach people how to advance this stuff? Let's be honest, though, in all honesty, let's be honest, though. People want to see drama. That's why it's more abundant than the tutorials are. All right, let's see. The shotgun boog is at it again. Indeed, as we always are. Let's also give a shout out to Tron. Right, we got to put an I first. There we go. Go check out Imatron. They do a lot of the arting. Oh yeah, and they play Splatoon. I remember seeing the Splatoon earlier today. Wait, was it earlier today or yesterday? I just remember that I saw it either today or yesterday. Pen spin. Hold on. Thank you for redeeming pen spin. Where's my pen? There we go. Thank you for redeeming pen spin. Now let's get the gun back. All right, let's see. Also, Boogie Boo, or is it Boogie Woo? Boogie Woo, welcome on in. How you be? Hope you're having a good day there, buddy. How am I doing? A lot better than I was 10, 20 minutes ago. It was about 20 minutes ago or so. Yeesh. Well, maybe not 20 minutes ago. I want to say it was like earlier. Let's go with earlier today. Earlier today, the scuff was rough. But we're good now. And that's all that matters. We are good now. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's cool. I just wish I didn't have to wait. Oh, let's see. I'm doing all right. I just finished animating my current project this morning. Might need to tweak a thing or two, but that's easy enough at this point. I just wish I didn't have to wait another 13 days to show it off. Another 13 days, that means it's for October. How do I know? I looked at well, as you can look at the timer up there for the monthly goals, that just helped me put 2 and 2 together. Like, it's for October. How do I know 13 days? Speaking of which, folks, well, actually, I'm gonna have to check out, once the stream is done, I'm gonna have to see or calculate everything, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think we might have reached the first goal. I think we might have reached the first Lampy plushie giveaway, which means at the end of the month, specifically at the end of the month, because I want to make sure that that all the germs that made me sick are long gone. I want to make sure those are no longer there. Because at the end of that month, we're going to be giving away 1 Lampy plushie. We're going to see who will be that lucky winner. How do we find that out? It's going to be a simple game of marbles. So, look forward to that. All right, let's see. What about a pen lightsaber? Ooh, I like that idea. Wait. Okay, funny enough, I think that's actually happened before. There was a pen lightsaber joke before. Well, maybe not pen lightsaber, but I'll show you what I mean. Hold on a minute. We gotta hide the gun again. We gotta get the pen out. I'm gonna show you a funny little trick. I just need to find that weapon again. We're never gonna get any drawing done. Do not worry about that there though, folks. As the old saying goes, and something I like to say a lot when it comes to these streams, especially art streams, not even just my art streams, just art streams in general. Folks, always remember, art streams, if you're ever wondering like, hey Lampy, how do you do art streams so quickly? Or how do you do art streams and chatting at the same time? That sounds like a lot of work. See, here's the nifty little secret. 80% of it is just chatting. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, there we go. Spinning sword. See, there you go. Lightsaber pen. We could also probably put it here to make that work a little better. Let me see. Ah, no, it needs to be specifically connected to that part of the pen. There we go. We got it. Pen spin. Pen spin. Check it out. Pen spin. Do you play Silk Song, Lampy? I'm currently working on some fan art of the game. Oh, I'm currently working on some fan art of the game. I don't play Silk Song and I don't play Hollow Knight, mostly because my experience was ruined a long time ago. I got backseated like from point A to point B, and I just gave up on the game halfway through. Maybe not even halfway through. I feel like I gave up on the game 60% of the way. With that being said, it's a really fun game. It's a really cool game. It's just that it got ruined for me. That's the unfortunate circumstance is all. Yo, Dusk, welcome on in. I was gonna say Dusk. I saw a Boogie over there and I was like, hey, Dusk. Like, no, that ain't right. Folks, go check out Dusk. Go check out the Dusk Cause. They do a lot of they play a good variety of games. They play the Final Fantasies. Oh hey, how's Digimon? They play the Pokemons. If you're a big fan of Pokemon, this is a really good place to go. But yeah, they just play all sorts of stuff. It's a very chill time over there. It can be a bit chaotic from time to time, but it's mostly chill. I highly recommend checking them out when you get the chance. How is the Digimon? I hope it's good. I hope it goes well. But yeah, no worries there, folks. That's just one of those things that I had to learn the hard way. Now I know whenever I'm going to play a game that is moderately popular that I've never played before, I need to get mods ready. Alright, let's see. The demo was so good. Ooh. Like, what sort of gameplay style is it? Also, welcome on in there, Ninja Lord. How you be? And everybody stopping by from Dusk's stream, I forgot to say. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes a live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those gaming streams. Today, we are currently drawing a robot chicken scene, except we're replacing the doctor, or we're replacing the chicken with a duck, or we're replacing the doctor with a Lampy. So you know it's good. And I hope you all enjoy your day. I hope you all enjoy your stay. And if you got to take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about writing or running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'm taking the rest of the week off till my birthday stream Saturday. Hey, congratulations, folks. Go check out Dusk on Saturday. Go support the Dusk on Saturday. Give them a big happy birthday, all of that stuff. Save. Good idea. Also, welcome on in there, Destroyer. Let's give a shout out to Destroyer. Go check them out. They play. If you're a fan of No Man's Sky, that's a good place to go. They've been really obsessed with that game again. But yeah, go check that out when you get the chance. It's heavy RPG based, and I like it a lot. Ooh, nice. Sounds a lot, so it's a lot like, or it's similar to Cyber Sleuth? Maybe? Yeah? Nah? Or is it more like, Digimon Worlds? Might have been like Digimon Worlds. Some streams with a plethora of raids, can have the intro repeated for most of the talk on stream. Yeah. Wonder whose stream that could be. Right, we need to put the gun back. Anyway, let's get back to the drawing at hand. And I need some water, because I've been talking like nonstop for the past... Yeah, it's been so long I lost track. Anyway. Hedo, 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 hedo. There you go. All right, now let's get back to the drawing at hand because we need to do some drawing. We need to get this coat ready. And I know that it's like, we're taking a lot of liberties on that one. Since the doctor, you know, has a very slim white coat and big black gloves and crazy hair, but we got to replace him with Lampy. And Lampy, even if that coat is very, very slim, I don't think Lampy fits that coat, so the coat's going to be very, very baggy. It's going to be very, very baggy and maybe open, because imagine trying to button up all those buttons while being the size of a football. I think you'd get lazy halfway through. So maybe this part of the coat, that part of the coat, and then after that it just drags down. Because who's really trying to fit the rest of that build? Alright, that should be good. As for the gloves, I mean, again, I don't see a Lampy fitting that entire coat, let alone adding gloves. So, yeah, those gloves probably not going to be there either. We're just going to have these very large sleeves just hanging over. Kind of like that. I think that's the best way to go about it. What is this about a robot duck? Oh yeah, so we're drawing an art piece that I've been meaning to draw for God knows how long, where Ryu is replacing the robot chicken as robot duck. And they're just going to be stuck there watching streamers. You know what I should do? I should troll... You know what? Since we're doing like a doctor experiment, why just have them watch VTubers? Let's really troll them and have them watch a stream. You know what? You know what? Not even a stream, because I feel like if we have them watching if I choose a stream that I feel like is something that they would hate, then we're putting that stream in a negative light. We're not trying to be negative over here. So let's go with a different idea. Let's go with a funnier idea. We go with a TV show. Because you can at least make fun of TV shows. Making fun of people is a little bit more difficult. Because it's a little more rude, and we're not trying to be rude here. But we could be rude to TV shows. Oh, you know what? We could be rude about movies. You already know full well I'm going to be rude about movies. So... let's find the right movie to be rude about. You know what? We still got plenty of time to figure that part out. So, we'll figure that out when the time rolls around. Because, as like in Robot Chicken, when the doctor pushes that button, a lot of different TV shows just pop up in the background. And the concept idea was we were going to put a bunch of streamers that they tend to watch on each of these screens in the background. And then I started thinking about it. Why not troll them actually, no, I take it back. We're not going to put a movie that's bad. Well, that's subjective. But we're going to put a movie that I know full well they don't want on the screen. Yeah. That's gotta be funny. Hydrate redeem to help see when you did it earlier. Good idea, good idea. Oh, they don't even have a giant chair behind them, so this actually makes things a whole lot easier. Also, last but not least, we're going to snag this whole point. We're just going to cut that. We're going to paste that into a new layer so we can take these layers, merge them together. There we go, perfect. So now I could actually start erasing things again. And since the duck should be having like smaller limbs, we could actually take that opportunity to add some smaller limbs here. So boom, let's go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and boom, all these tiny little limbs like so. Tiny little duck feathers, tiny little duck wings. And some sweat drops because they know that there's a, you know what? I'm just going to put tiny little screens around it. I'm going to make things a little bit, I'm going to take some liberties to do two things. One, be a little more lazy with this art piece. Less work. Work smarter, not harder. And two, to troll a little bit. So we're going to put one giant screen right here. And that giant screen will be surrounded by smaller screens that'll have streamers and VTubers that they watch. But that big screen, that's the one where I make them hate me. You'll see soon enough. Also, when you see this, do not worry about the sketch. The sketch may look a bit cursed. It may look a bit terrifying. But do not worry. Also, we should probably put the wings down now. Do not worry about that part. That is all part of the magic. Because when it comes to sketches, don't worry about what the sketch looks like. You you worry about that part later. Or you worry about fixing it up once you got the idea in mind. That's all that matters. All right, let me see. Also, let me see. What does DD Crow look like again? Because we're also going to make the duck look a lot like DD Crow. DD Crow. We need to find a good image of this thing. There we are. We also need to look at that tech right there and make sure we got things just right. We're going to turn him into DD Duck, also known as different dimension. In case anyone was hearing DD and thinking, what's that supposed to mean? Unfortunately, it can mean a lot of things. We're not going to get into what those things mean, though. Okay, that part should be good. We just got to make some weird robot mechanical lines, like that cybernetic. Yeah, those weird cybernetic lines that always pop up on things. Give it like an electrical grid looking thing. Except I don't know how electrical grids work, so we're just going to put some lines. That's basically it. We're also going to make a giant box. And that box is also going to have electrical grids coming out. Because ain't nothing like a good electrical grid, am I right? I also need to add one last mechanical part over here. And of course, as before, gotta make some weird robotic lines, give it an electrical grid like so. And that part should be good. Now we're all set. We made the mechanical bird. We might drag this down a little bit more because there's nothing at the bottom. So let's select everything here. Oh, wait. I was drawing on the wrong layer. Hold on a minute. Let's cut this. Go back over here. Drop that there. Merge down. Take this image. Move it to the top right corner over there. Boom. Perfect. Yo, IV. How you be? Hope you're having a good day there, buddy. All right. What happened to the Discord? What do you mean? Oh, okay. So... Wait, IV, are you still in the Discord or did you get kicked? There's a chance you might have gotten kicked. In which case, quick heads up there, folks. Everyone who is in the Discord, if you are not in the Discord anymore, do not worry. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just that we had to do a bit of a purge, and we had to set up a thing where everybody had to... What's the word I'm looking for? Had to... read the new update, click on the reaction, and anyone who didn't click on that reaction a few weeks back, they got kicked on the 8th. But do not worry, you can enter the Discord once again, the same way as before, and I will manually add you back to that. The reason why we had to do the purge was because we needed to make it an 18+ server for safety reasons. Because... yeah, just safety reasons in general. I'm trying to see. Do I need to say more? Do I need to say less? We're saying more. Main reason why we needed to do this for safety reasons is because if you've seen what happens in Discords, and some folks may not know that, you know, since it's a VTuber Discord, yeah... VTuber, or yeah, even when the VTuber is not of that kind of content, the fans, or the fan base is still, you know, part of that scene. And that scene is very, yeah, which there's nothing wrong with, but I made a terrible mistake of thinking I can make a channel for all ages. Yeah, it'll be fine. Wasn't fine. So yeah, I finally just took the time to finally take the plunge and take action about that. So yeah, now it's an 18+ server. And yeah, that's basically it. Alrighty then, let's get back to the drawing at hand. Oh, and in case anyone's wondering, did anything suspicious happen? Or anything bad happen? No. But, doesn't mean that we shouldn't prepare for just in case. Also, give me 1 second. We got to add IV back to the channel. Or back to the server. And welcome back there, IV. You are now back in the Discord. All right, now let me see. What is the next step that we got to do? Okay, so we got the coat. We got the lampy. We got the bird. Oh, right. That's what I was going to do. We're going to take the duck over here. We're going to drag this down a bit. And that part should be good. And you know what? I'm going to try something a little more crazy as well. What I'm going to do, go back to the sketch, snag this whole part of the coat. We're just going to rotate it a bit. Move it back down over here. Because I kind of want to make it a little more comedic. Like Lampy's just flying over there. Or just floating. Lampy's just nothing but... Yeah, what we're trying to do here now that I think about it, just for the comedic value, I think we're just going to make Lampy, like, just floating there like a giant... Or, not a giant, but, like, floating there like a deflated, wacky, waving, inflatable arm flailing tube man, or a flying scarecrow. Take that one however you wish. We're also going to add some flapping wings in the back to show that Lampy's wings are flapping in the background there. That's why Lampy's being able to float that high. There we go. That should be good. Also move Lampy a little bit further in the back. Actually, you know what? Nah, I think Lampy's fine right there. This should be a good spot right here. The next step is that we got to add a hat to Ryu. There we go. We got the hat. We got the coat in the background there somewhere. That should be all set. And yeah, I don't think there's really anything else that we need to add. That should be good. Okay, so now that we got that part set up, we're going to hide these two scenes right quick. Because we need to start working on the background a bit. We need to start putting some TVs back there. And I want to say 8 TVs in total with one really, really big screen in the middle. So let's just make some lines right here. Lampy's tapping at this screen. And okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. That should be good. 1, 2, 3. That should be okay. And then we're just going to have this really, really big screen. And Ryu's going to hate me for what's on that screen. Nobody tell them yet, though. Shh. It's a secret. That's going to be hilarious. I can't wait. Like, I'm saving that one for last, too. Like, I'm not even going to just drop that one off the bat yet. That one's going to be the... That's going to be like the coup de grace at the end. Like, this is going to be like, all right, make all the work, get all the drawing done, and then last but not least, bam, slap that one right there at the very end and call it a day. Like, that's how I'm going to drop this one. That's how I'm going to end this. It's going to be amazing. In the meantime, let's reduce the opacity on all of this stuff, and let's make some line art. So let's get started on this new layer. I'm going to call that one Lampy Coat. There we go. This is where we first start off. And also, folks, if you ever wanted to figure out, how do you draw Lampy? Well, okay, if you wanted to draw Lampy's head or Lampy's face, here's what you got to do. You just got to make a giant bean. Just make a giant jelly bean where one end is significantly smaller than the other. Like, you got the small end of the bean, and then you got the big end of the bean, and there you go. Yeah, it's called Lampy's head of bean. Let's be honest. Is that or is that not just a giant misshapen bean? Prove me wrong. Actually, it's my own design, so you know what? I can say that it's a giant misshapen bean. It was not the intent. It was not the game plan. But that's what happened. It's a giant bean. Oh, right, I forgot to mention that part. Okay, so while I was playing old school Elden Ring, because I wanted to... Okay, so I've been playing that one off screen yesterday, because... How else do I put it? I was playing Elden Ring off screen yesterday, or offline yesterday, because I wanted to try out that build where I get that Deathblight stuff. And the first thing that I decided to do was sit there for several hours trying to beat up that golden horseman at the beginning of Elden Ring. Like when you go into the open world and there's just that giant horse knight, or the giant golden knight. Yes, I sat there several hours. It took God knows how long, but I eventually beat them. Discord tattled on the offline playing. You know what? They could snitch on me all they want. It's not going to stop me from playing Night Ring or Elden Ring. But yeah, it had taken me several hours, but I beat up that giant horse. And I did so with no leveling. And then I made the horrible mistake, because once I finally got all them levels set up, also ads start in a minute. Once I finally got all that, once I finally beat them up, I got them 3k runes. I know 3k doesn't sound like a lot, unless you're starting out. But I got them 3k runes, and then I spent them on other things, realizing once I spent it on other equipment, I was just sitting there thinking to myself, I should have used that to level up. Because I gotta go fight Margaret. I gotta go fight Margaret right after. Margaret was an even tougher fight, not gonna lie. And I will definitely say, I am very glad that I picked the nerd route for the source. Or yeah, I'm glad I picked the nerd route for this run. Because if I did not pick the nerd route, I would have still been stuck in those last two boss fights. Because incantations are good. I play incantations. If I get the chance, I'm definitely playing incantations off the bat. But the only incantation you have at the very beginning of this run is Fireball. And though Fireball does a bucket ton of damage, it's also very, very slow. So you're kind of stuck there for a good while. But yeah. Forgot to save? Nah, it should be good. So yeah, I beat up Margaret. I beat up that Golden Knight. And then I kind of left it there. I haven't beat up Godric yet. But I will. And as bare as my witness, I'm gonna beat up that Godric. Mostly, or the main reason why I haven't beaten him up yet is because I kind of got tired. And I also wanted to look to see, where is that, where is the... What's the word I'm looking for? Where is that Deathblight magic? Then I found out, oh yeah, no, I'm a long ways away from that Deathblight magic, and that kind of had me stop for a minute, because now I'm just looking at that situation thinking, I'm gonna have to go through a lot of extra steps. I'm gonna have to go through some catacombs just so I could get that Deathblight magic and just spam it on NPCs the first chance I get. It's gotta be tough. It's gonna be a pain. By golly, am I gonna get it done. On other news, I'm trying to get I'm still looking into 3D printers, and I think I found the brand that I'm aiming for. I think. No, wait. Actually, I forgot what brands I was looking at. I was looking at a lot of brands for 3D printing. I was looking at Elegoo, and I heard that that might not be the best one for the printing that I'm trying to do. Like, if I was doing resin printing, Elegoo would have been great for that. And I think there was another one that would have been great if I was aiming for resin printing. And since I wanted to go with the little plastic spool, the filament one, yeah, that's the one, the filament kind. Those two brands are not the brands for it. I hear Bamboo is a good brand for that. And despite the fact that the video that I was watching said that for a beginner printer, it should be like 200 bucks. I don't know where they're looking to find that printer, and I want to know because I can't find it. I mean, I could find the printer. I think it was the Bamboo A1 Mini. I think that was the term that they said it was. The Bamboo A1 Mini. I tried looking for that. The thing's like even the Mini is like 300 bucks. The regular A1 is 500. And I'm just thinking to myself, what video were they watching that it was cheaper? And can I go back to that time? Can I go back to that point of time where I could get a Mini for about 200 bucks? I want to go back to that time. I also heard there's some other printers that are pretty good. The only problem is you gotta buy all the extra parts to actually make it not break on you every 5 minutes. And that was a concern right there. So now I'm just looking around trying to figure out what's a decent printer. What's a decent 3D printer that I could pick up? Oh yeah, speaking of 3D printing. So I already got in talks with the person about getting a 3D lampy model rig. I just gotta wait for when their time, what's the word? I just gotta wait for their schedule to clear up a bit more. Because right now, their schedule, not at the best. But the game plan is there, so now all I gotta do is sit back and wait. That sounds like politics. I'm leaving that one alone. Also, from what I saw, that video was like a year old. So that's why I'm looking at it like, when did that happen? Did I miss something? Was there a boom that hit that I didn't know about when it comes to the prices on these printers? I don't know. Either way, I'll find a printer eventually. I will find that printer. And when I do, then it'll be time to start coming up with project ideas, maybe print out a lampy gun. Well, the main reason why I wanted that printer is so I can start printing out my own lampy figures, because I feel like that was the cheapest way to go about it. To make these figures affordable, I think, maybe. I just need to figure out the cost of all of that stuff. Like I said, working on 3D prints, or having someone else make the 3D prints, turns out that it's very, very expensive, and trying to sell little figures that are 4x4, trying to get someone else to print them for you, it turns out it's very expensive. But if I get my own printer, that might reduce the cost. Maybe. That part I'm still trying to figure out. Because the main thing I'm worried about still is how much is all of this filament going to be? And how much is that printer going to cost? I still need to do a lot of math before I make any major purchase. Lampy figures sound cool. They do sound cool. And welcome on in there, EB. How ya be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Let's give a shout out to EB. Folks, go check out the EB. They design little characters for people to purchase. They also design model arts. So if you need a model art, this is a good place to go. Welcome on in there, Mary Lamb. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Without naming the references, actually affording supplies and not just the machine, you can use... Oh, you can't use for under 100... Wait, let's see. Without naming the reference, actually affording supplies and not just a machine, you can't use for under... Okay, let me see. I'm trying to figure out... Folks, this is why we need commas in sentences, because when you don't put commas in sentences, it's very difficult to figure out what part of a word fits with what part. Okay. Because I don't know if it's how the wording is supposed to be is without naming references, comma, actually affording supplies, actually affording supplies, and not just a machine. See, this is the part where I'm trying to figure out. Is the comma before, after machine, or is it that you can't use under $100? Full setup was before 2018. Also, I apologize that I apologize that I grammar policed there for a minute. That one, that was uncalled for. I should not have done that. Okay, let me see. Full setup was before 2008. Okay, let's see. Full setup was before 2008. Hold on a minute. Wait, did they have 3D printers in 2008 though? I don't know. Sorry. No, I know, apologize. If anything, I should be apologizing to you because I should not have been grammar policing like that. Okay, I am tired but good. How are y'all? Yeah, so far so good. I have, okay, getting a lot better now because one, I'm no longer sick. That's a good sign. And two, I got over the scuff that happened earlier today. So we've managed to get to the drawing phase after all the struggle. So it's a good day. Also, I picked up soda. Any day with soda is a good day. Although, I don't know what happened to me yesterday. Like, for some reason, I picked up a bottle of Coke, and it tasted different. It tasted funny. And I thought, maybe I just picked up a bad bottle. My brothers had a drink, seemed fine. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just me. Or maybe they don't notice it. Who knows? Later later that day, got some food, got a drink. I tried a drink of that soda from the fast food place, and I just let my brother have it because it turns out, my taste buds kind of got messed up. Maybe that illness wasn't a fever or a cold or a flu. Maybe it was COVID because I can't drink Coke, which is a problem. Well, maybe it's a better situation. I don't know, but I miss drinking Coke, but it could also have been the situation that maybe I just drank too much Coke earlier this month and it just doesn't taste the same anymore. I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay. Let me catch up with some things. If I could paint my own Lampy print and use it in D&D, I'd be so happy. Wait. So, okay. I will also say this. Part of me was thinking of going for the base color, and part of me was thinking of pre-painting these Lampies, but now that Sherbert brought this up, it also made me think of another idea that I had in mind earlier, which was, what if people wanted to paint their own Lampies? Should I just let them paint their own Lampies and just have it just be a plain base color? Or should I have multiple options? Maybe I should just have the multiple options where we have the base color Lampy where people can paint it however they like, and then we just have the pre-painted Lampy. at a higher cost. Maybe something like that. Lampy Gumpla? Oh, we are going in so many directions. I would have to really figure out... See, here's the other tricky part. But I will get to that. I will explain that one in a bit. But first, we gotta give a shout out to Gilded Siren. Welcome on in. How you be there, Gilded? Hope things are going well. What were you playing? What were you up to? How were things be? Let's find out. And everybody stopping by from Gilded Siren stream. Well, first, go follow Gilded Siren. Really awesome people. They know Sherbert, which means they know good people. And if they know good people, that means they are good people. And everybody stopping by from Gilded Siren stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes a live to de-rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. Today, we are currently working on an art piece for Ryu. Speaking of which, yo, Ryu, good to see you. And I hope y'all enjoy your day. I hope y'all enjoy your day or stay. And if you gotta take care of things, go take care of those things. And never feel bad about writing and running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. How was the peak? Did you reach it? I hope so. Either way, if not, I hope you had fun. Welcome on in there, Siren. Whew. We're going to try to catch up with everything. We're going to get there little by little. I am tired but good. How are y'all? So far so good. Doing a lot better. And I'm sorry to hear that you're tired. I hope you get that energy soon enough. And I hope things get a little bit easier to work on. I'm sorry I never use commas in chat. I'm guilty of this. That's fair. That's fair. Commas are difficult to work with, but at the same time, it also makes it easier to read the sentences. Okay, let's see. Yes, because I used one in 2008 for engineering class. 3D printers were back in 2008? Why have I never started hearing about them till like around 2015 or so? Huh. Are they more expensive back then, or were they more or less expensive? I don't know. There was scuff, I missed it. Yeah, we had a lot of scuff earlier today where VTube Studio wasn't working, so there was no model. I ended up messing up in OBS, so there was like double screens, and I could not figure that part out. I had to do a whole reset. Also, when I thought I had my screen or stream back on and I was explaining that I was going to restart my PC, turns out I didn't hit go live, or I didn't hit start stream, so nobody heard that part. So yeah, that was a rough start. They'll never take me alive, grammar police. Oh yeah, we'll see about that. Hold on a minute. We're gonna go grammar policing them. Hold on right quick. We're gonna go chase down a duck. Hold on, we're gonna go first. We're going to take care of a certain something. We're taking Ryu into custody, and I am going to deal with one thing. Okay, I got all the words that they put in there. Boom. Just corrected each and every single word in their sentence. That's right. Also, welcome on in there, Swimming Link. How you be? I'm not late. This is a raid message. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So now we're catching up a little bit, little by little. Lampy Gumpla. That's an interesting idea. We got to try that one. I'd buy a Mecha Lampy model. That one I'm actually trying to get done. I just need to work on the character sheet for the Lampy mech as well. I'm trying to get a lot of figures out there. Why? I don't know why. I just really wanted to get a lot of these figures and a lot of these character sheets done, because the only character sheet I ever made was the Lampy one, and that's about it. And character sheets for other people, but that's for the job. I didn't make too many personal ones. We did it. We won 2 different runs playing with a friend who hadn't played before. Hey, congratulations. Honestly, that's a big achievement, because that cauldron. Ugh. That cauldron. That is a... That cauldron. That cauldron takes many a lives. Gonna take care of some post-stream stuff. Have a great stream, everyone. All right there, Siren. You take care of what you gotta take care of, and I thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your day. And yeah, I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. You take care now there, buddy. Let's see. Oh, good ones were more expensive than they are now. In 1995, only one company was making 3D printers and a small... Oh, okay, let's... In 1995, only one company was making 3D printers, and a small one cost more than a car. Honestly, I can imagine why. If it's a rare device devices usually cost a lot more. Hello? I'm alright, just waiting for Steam to update some games. Oh, Steam to update some games. Fair, fair, fair. I'm wishing you the best of luck on those Steam games. I think I picked up a few Steam games myself. I know I'm supposed to be saving, but sometimes those Steam sales are just too good to be true. And so you just gotta pick them up. Which, by the way, folks, I will be playing those games on stream because, you know, I used the Twitch money on those games. So I can't just use the Twitch money on those games and just be like, I'm just gonna play this for me. Like, no. We gotta play these games on stream. And yes, a lot of them involve shooting cultists. I wonder why. I missed an earlier 3D printing comment mentioned movie use. Oh yeah, fair. I didn't know they used it for movie stuff. That's crazy. I mean, I guess that makes sense, you know, like the practical effects sort of things. I wonder. No, wait, Star Wars was earlier than that. Right, if I'm correct, they made those starships, or, you know, those fighter ships in Star Wars out of popsicle sticks. Which looks and sounds really awesome when you really think about it. See, that is what... Okay, I'll be honest. Star Wars had a lot of amazing story concepts, but let's be perfectly fair. When you were younger, if you watched Star Wars, you watched it because of the starships. Am I wrong? I could be wrong. I'll be honest, that was my personal reason. Like, I don't know who Luke... I don't know. Actually, when I was younger, I was like, I don't know who any of these people are except for Darth Vader. But I like these spaceships. The TIE fighters with their solar panels, which I didn't know were solar panels at the time. The X-Wings, where the wings open up and they shoot like multiple lasers. All of that. Darth Vader's TIE fighter especially, that was and still is my favorite ship to this day. Out of all the Star Wars ships that exist, my favorite one is still Darth Vader's TIE fighter. Why? Because it was unique. It stood out from the rest of the TIE fighters. Black and blue always works. And yeah, there was just something about the side wing. I actually still have one of those Darth Vader's TIE fighter ships. Like one of those little... I was going to call them little models, but let's be honest, this was a toy. I still have one of them little toys right now. Like, it's on that shelf. I wish I could show it, maybe in the future. Let's see. I watched it because my dad's hyperfixation is Star Wars. How did your dad feel about the sequel? Like, did your dad watch them? Steam Autumn Sale is coming up in 2 weeks. Or in 2 weeks as well. And sorry for my delay in messages. The game downloads are making me lag. Do not apologize for the game messages. All good. You message whenever you can because there is no obligations. And this is also why I had to apologize earlier, because there's no obligations in these streams. You do, so long, the only obligation in these streams is respect the chat, or respect your fellow chatters, respect the streamer, and I will do my best to do the same for you. This is why I had to apologize earlier, because I was telling people how to type, and I should not be telling people how to type. Even if it's difficult for me to figure out how to read it, I shouldn't be telling people how to type. Now let's try to figure out how to draw this eyeball. We gotta draw a very, very big bug eyeball. There we go, that should be good. Alright, let's see. Watching the ships as more was okay, let's see. Watching the ships was more true for Star Wars than Star Wars, but Star Wars' biggest selling point was them blowing each other up. You're not wrong. I mean, how many things blew up in the... Actually, funny enough, if I'm correct, did anything blow up in... Oh, wait, yeah, no, I take it back. I was gonna say, everything except The Empire Strikes Back, because I don't think anything blew up in The Empire Strikes Back, and then I forgot. Wait, he had Atwalkers. They may not have been in space, but they blew up sci-fi vehicles. And yeah, you're Spock, honestly, you're not wrong on that, because when you make a franchise of 3 movies at that time, when you make a franchise of 3 movies, when you make a whole trilogy, and 2 of those trilogies involve blowing up the Death Star, you know they just like blowing up ships. My dad watched them... Oh, my dad watched them because he's a fan, and even watches the TV shows, but isn't very happy with them. Honestly, fair. I will say that one that is a true fan, because even though they're not happy with the results, they're still watching it anyways. And I commend them for that, because I gave up a long time ago. I gave up after, what's it called? What's that one movie? I gave up after The Last Jedi. As soon as The Last Jedi hit, I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm done with Star Wars. Because I do not like the direction all of this is going. And yeah, with the exception of a few shows, has not been doing well. Again, don't bring back Palpatine. If you're ever making a sequel story to Star Wars, never bring back Palpatine. Ever. Also, they did my boy Luke dirty. They did Han dirty. Although, to be fair, I can understand why they did Han dirty. If I'm correct, the actor, Harrison Ford, really didn't want to come back. And maybe this was their compromise, like, okay, I'll be Han again, but you have to kill me off first movie. Maybe that was the compromise, like, he has to be in the whole movie, but he gets to die at the end. I'm assuming maybe that was in the contract. Okay, let's see. I've never seen a single Star Wars movie, but I have seen the show Mandalorian and loved it. Understandable, understandable. I will say that there's a lot of folks that were not Star Wars fans that watched The Mandalorian. Why? I'm assuming it's because of the Baby Yoda. I could be wrong, though, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, because that is only my assumption. That is only my wild guess. TV shows are hit and miss. Yeah, that's also true. Again, I heard Mandalorian was real good. I mean, I watched the first couple of episodes. I haven't really gotten into that series. I also watched the first couple of episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. And I thought the first couple of episodes were alright, and then I just kind of got bored. Rogue One, I thought it was an okay movie, with a couple of exceptions. Still never gonna get over the idea that, oh yeah, we're gonna give homage to the fans by retconning the Death Star's plans by putting that one weak point as an intentional flaw. I'm never gonna get over that. That was so dumb. And I knew some friends that were Star Wars fans that said, I am so glad they put that. They finally made that point make sense. And I'm like, what do you mean made sense? Shooting a missile through a ventilation shaft several miles down into a reactor core for the whole thing to blow up while you're being shot at by turrets, security fighters, and you're telling me, oh, and the guy who's securing the place, the literal second hand of the Emperor, the Darth Vader, the guy that, which I will say, I've said it before and I'll say it again, he's the only one that people have done justice over these years. Like, as the years went on, his reputation has only went up. But anyway, going back to that, when that dude is guarding it, and you're saying this is an intentional design flaw that we made so that you can blow it up, even the first movie itself said this is a 1 in a million shot. If this is your intentional design flaw to get back at the Empire, you need to rethink your designs. Because I know it was supposed to be, we need to make it subtle enough that they don't know that it's a design flaw, but let's be honest. That if it wasn't for sheer luck and plot armor and magic wizard stuff, that would have never worked. And I was so tired of fans that I knew at the time saying, yeah, they finally fixed that, or they finally fixed that that loophole, or that one dumb thing about the Death Star. I'm just thinking, that is not as dumb as you think it is. Trying to say that that was intentional so the enemy could win, that's where it looks dumb. Anyway, that's just me, though. I'm always going to rant on about that one. That part's always going to just... Anyway, that's not important, though. That's how you know I'm a Star Wars nerd. Getting mad about some of the smallest minute of reasons that aren't important. And I know they're not important. But when I think about them, it just makes me want to... So anyway, we're going to get back to the drawing, or we're going to get back to the reading at hand. Okay. Never really gave Disney Star Wars a fair chance yet. That's fair. That's also fair. That's also fair. I would have been hesitant of Disney buying Star Wars as well. Somehow, Sheev Palpatine is hitting the gritty in Fortnite. You know what? That sentence still makes much more sense than the original sentence. Leia was supposed to carry more of the movie plot, but reality stole that chance. Also true, also fair. Rest in peace there. I can never remember people's names. And this one's going to drive me nuts. Who was the voice actress's name? It's in the back of my head. It's like right there. Can't remember what it is. Folks, who's the actress that played Princess Leia? Someone has to know that name. Somebody help me out here. I can't remember names. I mean, heck, it took me like a whole 30 seconds to figure out Harrison Ford. All right, let's see. I watched and loved it because of Space Pirates. Oh, honestly, also a fair and reasonable... Yeah, that's also a very reasonable option. Carrie Fisher. That's the one. Carrie Fisher. Okay, I was never going to get that. It's in the back of my head, and for some reason, like, just trying to think of the name, like, where is it? But I will say this. Oh, actually, what was I going to say? Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I will say this, though. I feel like the Star Wars movies would have also done Carrie Fisher dirty in that as well. Like, they would have tried to prop her up, but I feel like they would have done it horribly. Like, they would have made a horrible mistake on... Not so much horrible mistake of, you know, letting Leia take the lead. Because, let's be honest, Leia took the lead in that one Star Wars movie, like the New Hope. Like, when they were stuck behind the freaking... When they were stuck behind the barricade stuff, or what was it? They were stuck behind enemy fire. It was Leia that got them out of the situation. I think they even make a joke about that one, like, some rescue this is. Or something along those lines. Anyway, point being is, it would have, like, on paper, it would have been fine. But knowing how Disney was working, I feel like they would have messed that one up, too. They would have messed it up just as much as they messed everything else up. They messed up Luke. They messed up Han. They messed up Palpatine. And indirectly, they messed up Vader. They would have messed up Leia, too. Even if that wouldn't have been their intention. They would have messed up Leia. Alright, let's see. The only Star Wars I liked was Rogue One. Also fair, understandable. I will still say. Rogue One, though it had its flaws, especially the blueprint plans, still had the best Darth Vader scene ever. Bar none, without fail. Said it before and I'll say it again. Best Darth Vader scene. Made him they showed him as the true terror that he should be portrayed as. Like how the comics portrayed him. Alright, let me see. Solo had some good points. Mostly dumb, but some good points. Also fair. Oh, Solo, the movie. Oh, yeah, I don't know what it was about that movie. Like, I honestly didn't even give that one a first shot. I didn't even give that one an honest try. It's not a loophole or a plot hole. It's a Luke hole. Herbert, you're a homie. And I want you to know that. You're a homie. And I appreciate you. I want you to know that. God, that pun hurt my soul. Oh, that was terrible. That is the only thing I'll say. Okay, let's see. They already had her going Harry Potter class Mary Sue in the Force, or yeah, in her Force powers, jumping back to the ship. Oh yeah, I forgot there was the Superman scene. See, this is why nobody okay, not true, not nobody. I do remember there was some people that were on there was a lot of back and forth about The Last Jedi. Some people said it was good, and that the fans are just mad, and that they aren't real fans. And then other people were saying, oh yeah, this was a bunch of garbage, because look at what they did to Luke. What's with that Superman scene with Leia? What is up with Holdo? Why is Snoke a nobody that just died? The list goes on. But we could at least all agree, Rise of Skywalker sucked. I was there during those times when there was a lot of backlash and a lot of arguing. But amongst all the people that argued for The Last Jedi, or not The Last Jedi, yeah, The Last Jedi, those very same people also still agreed that Rise of Skywalker sucked. And if you're a fan of the Rise of the Skywalker, do not let this change your mind. You enjoy what you enjoy. Do not let people judge you for what you enjoy. But that movie sucked. And that's just a personal opinion. Alright, let me catch up something. Didn't Yoda already predict Leia being force sensitive with his... No, there is another scene? Yes. As a matter of fact, yes. Yes, he did. Not only that, but if I'm correct, even Vader was looking at that like, well, I know Vader did this for two reasons, but I wouldn't be surprised if Vader was still considering that as an option, because, let's be honest, it's Luke's twin. Of course Leia was gonna have that Force sensitivity and still have the potential to do similar things, if not the exact same thing. But the movies didn't give enough time for all of that. Still, regardless, I don't remember seeing any other Jedi pulling off a Superman flying back to their spaceship like that. So I wouldn't really exactly say that Leia was a Mary Sue. But who knows, maybe the Disney Star Wars movies would have messed that up. But as far as I know, Leia had the same potential as Luke. Now, I will say, despite all of that, despite all this Mary Sue talk about Star Wars characters, I am going to be one of the few people that will say that Starkiller is just as bad. If you've seen the Force Awakens games, you will know full well why Starkiller should not be not be part of the main canon, because it doesn't make any sense. Why would there be a dark Sith that powerful running around and do absolutely nothing in the main trilogy? The answer? That wouldn't happen. Because if you got a Dark Jedi running around that powerful, he would be a pivotal character. And for someone to be able to solo Vader and Palpatine at the same time, that should not be part of a... Yeah, no, that just should not, no. No. This is why when anyone, if I ever argue with somebody about Star Wars characters and, what's the whole thing I'm talking about? This is why I'm going to argue against Starkiller. I don't care how many people say, oh yeah, Starkiller was so awesome. No different from Rey. And that's not a good thing. Yes, that's right, folks. I'm not a fan of how easy things were for Rey, but I'm also not a fan of Starkiller either, because that is the exact same peas in the exact same pod. Okay, let me catch up some things. I can't believe I got you to read that out loud. And with that, I'm never reading anything Sherbert says again. The bomber's dependence on gravity comes to mind for a stupid design choice on a space fighter bomber. You know what? You're not wrong on that either. The Y-Wing and the TIE bomber, that honestly shouldn't work. Why did the Y-Wings and TIE bombers exist? You know what? I think the Rogue One games, or the Rogue Squadron, that's the one. I think the Rogue Squadron games had a pretty solid idea. When it came to introducing those ships, because when they introduced those ships, you usually couldn't use them unless you were on, or they didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't give you the option of those ships unless you were on a planet. Like, that's when they told you, all right, you got to hop in your Y-Wings and you got to start dropping these bombs. If you were in space, the Y-Wing doesn't really make a lot of sense. Can you draw me? Sure. There you go. No problem. That'll be $34.95. All right, let's see. Prequel did show Jedi sprinting really fast or do long jumps using the Force. So I gave up on consistency. Oh, so I gave up on consistency in the series. Hmm. Yeah, but none of them were in outer space. Okay, they were in outer space, but they were in ships. So I'll at least give them that much consistency, is that they were in ships. That's about it. Yeah, that's basically all I got. I don't know. You're not wrong though. The consistency on those things, they kind of went out the window once they started saying midichlorians are a thing. What? All right, let's see. My initial reaction was that the newer movies were good until I spent more than 3 seconds thinking about it. Then I had that, hey, wait a second moment, and started to realize just nothing makes sense. They are classic new Disney movie tropes of working off pure hype, only for your brain to kick in and realize it's all a big nothing burger. You're not. I wholeheartedly agree with that one, especially with the movie Endgame. Because I really liked the movie Endgame until 2 hours later after I left the theater and realized, wait, hold on a minute. That wasn't even the same Thanos. Why did they go with time travel? We didn't even get to fight Thanos with the glove on. We got nothing that I was prepared for. The hype just, There's just so much wrong with that movie. Dialogue in movie repeatedly makes it clear Leia had no training and refused Force training. Wait, what? Okay, yeah, see, now they made a mistake on that one. Like, if Leia was not doing any of the Force training and was able to do that Force Superman magic stuff, now we got a bigger problem. See, this is what I mean by Leia's a good character, but Disney is messing everybody up. I thought the gravity bombs were using weaponized gravity to do damage. Wait, is that how it works? Gotta look into these gravity bombs later. Rogue Squadron did the bombs as a more powerful photon torpedo with an energy in an explosive, no propulsion unit. And yes, using them on a planet only did make sense. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, if the bombs are going to drop, it should only be when they're on a planet. Like, if they're in space, forget bombs, just torpedo everything. Space torpedo everything. Where's my space torpedoes? You know what? Where's my real life space wars? If we're going to be having all these wars, I want them to be up there. I know that sounds messed up, but if we're going to be dealing with wars left and right, I want to see them in space. And I want camera. You know what? I take all of this back. I started realizing what I was saying, and it was... I wanted it to be a spectacle, and then I realized, wait, we're talking about people's lives here. I retract everything I just said. I retract everything. See, this is what happens when you're just following yeah, this is what happens when you just follow along with things without actually thinking about it. Once you start to think about things, that's when you realize, wait, hold on a minute, that we might be going in I might be going in the wrong direction on this. And now I know better. And this is why I can't be a leader, because if I start thinking on or if I start acting on a whim, things are going to get real bad real fast. So if anyone ever starts saying Lampy for president, Lampy 20 something when, I'm going to be like, yeah, no, we can't have this happen, because then we're going to have literal Star Wars out in the space. And it's going to be aired on Twitch. No. It's going to be aired on YouTube. We can't have that. Like, the first decree from Lampy is, yeah, the first decree is from me is just going to be, one, Lampy has initiated martial law, and two, Lampy has brought back, or has put all of the funding into NASA. Why did they put all the funding into NASA? Lampy wanted starships. I want my goddamn starships. I want my totally not Darth Vader TIE fighter. The one with 6 rockets, 2 laser cannons. And I want a Death Star. I want it done before the end of my term. Gonna try to make sure I get 8 years into this. Yeah, 8 years into this thing. So that one that one Death Star gets made in 8 years. It's gonna be made out of popsicle sticks, because we don't have enough money to make an entire starship in 8 years. Or an entire battle station in space in 8 years. It's going to be made out of popsicle sticks. And somehow, some way, it's still going to cost the taxpayers or the country $1,500 trillion. And we're going to be indebted to every country in the world. Why? Because I wanted my popsicle stick battle station in space. And yet somehow, some way, for some reason, despite all of this insanity, despite all of this nonsense, somehow, some way, y'all folks are going to just put that in history as the greatest president in the world, or in the U.S. history of all time. And I'm just going to be looking back on those history books just thinking, you can't be serious. I put the country in debt for a very dumb project, and people love it. Why? That's the part that's going to perplex me the most, is that people are just going to be... People would be, like, cheering for this for some reason. I wouldn't be surprised. Except for Twitter, because Twitter gets mad at everything. But that's not the point. Okay, let me see. Okay, so per Wikipedia, Star Wars Wiki, a gravity bomb was a slow torpedo that is designed to attack larger ships. Oh, attack larger ships. The explosion from the weapon would generate intense gravity waves designed to shake targets to pieces. Okay, so giant shake bomb. Gotcha. The collateral damage and the gravity of the situation... Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Alright, let's see. You are a cult leader. No. We're not doing any cult nonsense, or I'm not cult leading in nothing. Let's get the music back. All right, let me catch up with the rest of the reading. Where did I last leave off? So yes, they weaponize gravity, not falling due to gravity. Oh, okay. Fair. Wikipedia, gravity bombs was used to indirect vehicles and prevent them from going into hyperdrive. Different bomb. Gotcha. The bombs in Disney movies are hand grenades on a string. They drop and they hope there is enough gravity to get to their enemy. Wait, what? Right, I forgot they just dropped bombs in space, didn't they? They just put the bombs on fishing lines. Wait, is that how it went? Part of me feels like I need to see that scene again. At the same time, I kind of don't want to watch that movie again. I don't know how to feel about this. I feel like I have to check that out again just to make sure. But I don't want to. Yeah. I'll figure something out. Oh, right. That reminds me. I got to check up on something right quick. I got to go check up on the dog. Make sure they're okay. I will be right back in about a couple seconds. So, give me a moment. All right, and I'm back. Just needed to check up on them dogs, make sure nobody was sick, because one of the dogs hasn't been looking too well. He's been lying around and he hasn't been eating a lot, but he seems to be walking around just fine right now. So just gotta check up on him from time to time. Okay, let's get back to the rest of the line art, because as crazy as it is, project, I thought it was gonna be a bit of work to work on, but no, it's actually a pretty simple project right here. There we go. Let's put that square hat. Put the rim of the cap. That part should be good. Now it's time to start making some other mechanical parts here for the rest of the robot. Where did I put those? Oh, actually, no, it's just, now that I think about it, the part where the mechanical pieces should be visible is actually under the hat. So we're actually good. Yo, Carmi, welcome on in. Let's give a shout out to Carmi. Folks, if you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you do. They do the spookin' streams. They play a good variety of games. They also do the artin'. Also, if you folks want a realistic looking spider model, or if you want some horn PNGs, or a live 2D model, or a live 2D item of a dangling eye, go check out Carmi. They make a lot of that sort of stuff. And you can find a lot of, you could actually find a lot of good free assets that they make on their coffee page. It's the coffee, right? All of them perfect for Halloween. Is that a duck or a crow? It is a crow, but it is a DD crow. Or, not DD crow. That is a duck, but it's a DD duck. That's right, we gave you the DD crow setup. As I said I would. But yeah, it's a duck. Matter of fact, it's you. Why? Because we're making that robot chicken art. So, yeah, there you go. Let's see. Thank you, Lappy. I appreciate that. Yes, my name is Lappy. But yeah, no problem there, Carmi. You deserve it. And no, thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. I see the other models are out. Very cool. Yeah, I finally got the Hollow Knight models out. It was a struggle because being sick at the same time that I needed to make the official post made that very rough. But we got it done. We got it manageable. We managed to pull it off somehow, some way. I actually got my first commission. It seems to be a complicated one, but it's going to be well worth it. Coffee? Yeah, coffee. Wait, wrong coffee. But yeah, coffee. And ads start in a minute. So look forward to that and watch out. With that being said, we need to add some more... Oh, right. That's what we were going to do. We were going to add the shackles to the duck, because the duck has to be shackled to the chair. To watch streamers and a very specific movie. Yeah, that's right. We're adding a movie. I want to pick up the Hollow Knight one, but haven't gotten around to it. That's fair, that's fair. And do not worry, like, you'll have all the time in the world, because, again, those the models on the coffee page, they are free. And two, they're going to be there so long as that coffee page... Yeah, they'll be there so long as the coffee page is there. Like, even when I'm long gone, so long as that coffee page is still there, those models will still continue to be available. But yeah, let's see. Awesome, good luck with it. I'm also working on a commish rigging off stream. Ooh, you're rigging something off stream? Yo, nice. Are you allowed to talk about it, or is it something that has to be kept under wraps? Do not worry if it needs to be kept under wraps. I completely understand. You don't have to answer that question if you don't want to. But congratulations on the rigging commission. Those ones are always awesome to have. Why? Because... what's the word I'm looking for? Getting rigging projects can be kind of tough. In all honesty. Especially when starting out. I know I struggled left and right trying to get live 2D projects. Now, they pop up from time to time. Oh, that also reminds me. I should have a new live 2D rigging commission real soon as well. I just need to, what's the word I'm looking for? The client was working on the model art for a minute. And I just needed to wait on that. And for when they were ready to get the model rigged was all. But yeah. Like, most of the time, you usually have to get you have to show a lot of examples for people to... Normally, you would have to show off a lot of examples for people to see your work and then be like, that. I want that. And getting those examples out there, it could be pretty tough. But the point is, once you get that work moving, once you get those commissions rolling, people see more of the work, and then more people show up for it, and, it just kind of snowballs for a minute. All right, let's see. I finally finished the Silk Song fan art after 8 hours. Ooh. Yo, congratulations there, Sherbert. I wouldn't mind seeing it. It sounds like it's going to be awesome. Feel free to post it in the Discord or something. Wait, just in case if you already did. Oh, you did. Yo, that's pretty awesome. I like it. Folks, go check out the art that Sherbert made in the Discord. I highly recommend it. Really awesome stuff right there. All right, let's see. Now, he's been sharing it around too. He's too excited. It's okay to talk about it. It's a demon furball character. My first rigging commission. Yo, congratulations on your first rigging commission. That is awesome. That is amazing. Also, I can't wait to see when the furball is finished. It sounds like it's going to be awesome. Also, I heard demon furball, and the first thing I thought was, Haribo? Is that you? Sometimes when I type, it autocorrects to lumpy instead of lampy. Honestly, fair too. That's not, or I'm not surprised because I've had that happen multiple times where when someone tries to type lampy or something like that, either, yeah, and a lot of the times, Twitch is understandable. It's Twitch, or you know, it's yeah, I want to say Twitch. It's tough to write things fast. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's tough to write things fast enough to where the topic is still relevant while at the same time typing grammatically accurate or perfectly. Some letters will get lost. Some words will get lost in the distance as well. And that one's completely understandable. With that being said, the amount of times I've seen my name get misspelled, it's a funny amount of times. Some people some people type lappy, some people type lammy, some people type ampy, some people type lamp. I don't know if that one was on purpose or not, but I've seen a few people just type lamp. All right, let's see. Post it in your Discord. Ah, fair. It looks really amazing. It's some really amazing art there, Sherbert. AFK notebook dying. What's AFK notebook? All right, we got to add this mechanical part of an arm right over there. Let's clean up that line because that part looks god-awful. And I could say that because it's my own art. We're going to clean that part up. Go to this part of the line, shape that up. We should be good there. Let's clean up this edge as well a little bit. And there, perfect. Now let's just add to this point where the arm, the mechanical part of the arm and the shackle connect. There we go. And now let's just add some feathers to the bottom of the arm there. Like so. And then we just add a sleeve because I think the duck had a sleeve. Ryu, you got sleeves, right? Just going to add a sleeve because I think Ryu has sleeves. Boom, there we go, sleeve. I haven't seen anyone add an H to the name yet, but maybe someday. And I'm also not trying to pronounce that because I know I'm going to struggle with that one. And there we go. We got the shackle. We got all of that. Now we just need to add the mechanical part of the head. Like so. Boom, there we go. Now it's time to add... Oh, right. Actually, I know how we could do this. We need to make a new layer. We're going to call this line. Oh, wait, before I forget. So actually, yeah, let's merge this back down. So that's the line art. That's the mechanical eye. Now we need to make a second layer underneath that one. We're going to call this one red. Boom, there we go. And even though it's not going to look red just yet, it'll make all the sense later. Because right now we just got to go with a lightish red, better known as pink. Right there should be good. Now, you might be wondering, why did we make these really, really weird shapes for the mechanical lines? And it'll all make sense a little bit later. For right now, these should be the lines for the moment. Boom, there we go. And we'll start cleaning them up once we got everything set. Let's go back over here. Let's decrease the size of the circle a little bit. Right here should be good. Drag that across. Put one more line down there. And last but not least, one more line there. Now let's add a thinner line across this direction. Get the eraser and start erasing some things. And now that we got all of that set, we can finally show why we made all these weird shapes. Is what we're going to do. Take those weird shapes, erase the edges of those, or erase where the excess lines went a little too far. Just erase straight down like so. Just to make those perfectly square angles. Almost perfectly square, but they may not be 100%, but you know what I mean. Instead of trying to draw the corners, we just have them go beyond said corners, and then we just cut them off. This way, it's a lot less work trying to get those perfect sharp corners. Like so. Let's go for this direction instead. And then just pull this entire thing up. And boom, there we go. And for the last one. Also, I apologize if you hear that dog. Them dogs yell everywhere. Now, in case you're wondering, why are they all so light pink? Or a light red? And let's be honest, why are they a pink? Hold on a minute, I'm closing that window. Dogs are getting way too loud. I'm not dealing with all of that. Okay, and we're back. So the reason why we made the lines a bright pink is because now we're going to go into the effects for this sort of stuff. Let's go to... Also, this is why we also separated the layers. We're going to double click on that. We're going to add an outer glow and an inner glow to set effect. So let's go to outer glow. Put that on normal. 100% opacity. Make that a bright red. And increase the size. Oh, it's still on screen. You're not supposed to be screen. You're supposed to be on normal. There we go. Much better. And let's go for the inner glow. How do I explain the inner glow? Well, okay, so the outer glow is self-explanatory. The inner glow is going to be a little different. Instead of it, instead of the glow going outward, the glow is going to be going inward. This is going to give it a much more solid, glowy effect when it comes to everything. Let's also increase the size there. Yeah, see, there you go. That's the effect of the inner glow. Also, that is really bright. So let's go back to a bright red. Let's go back to that outer glow because it's not lining up with the corners there. We need that to line up with the corners. So let's mess with the range a little bit. Let's also mess with the size. Let's increase the range a little bit more. There we go. That should be good. Tron alignment like Sark. Yeah, basically. Boom. There we go. We got those effects. And I think we might want to make the red a bit brighter, though. Let's bring that up a little bit more. There we go. Now we got the bright red glowy effect. Maybe we can make it a little bit more... a larger glow. Hold on a minute. Let's go back to the inner glow and increase that a bit more. Yeah, we're going to stick with this one. It may not be as strong, but definitely gives off the effect that we're aiming for, which is bright red glowing light. Where if we go with this, it kind of loses the brightness. And it stops losing the effect that makes it look like it's glowing. So, we're going to stick with the one where the inner glow is smaller. Now that we got that done, let's go back to these effects. And let's turn the effects that we made right now, let's turn them into layers. Create layers. Let's try that again. Yeah, create layer style. Oh, nope. Create layers, hide all effects, create layers. Now let's go to that outer glow on this effect and just erase certain points. Because those shapes shouldn't exactly be there, because if they're underneath the line art, then it doesn't really make any sense for the glows to go past that line art. We're going to get rid of some of the glow that is underneath those lines. Like here. Though the glow would make sense if the glow was in front of everything, but since it's not, it's just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. And yeah, that should fix the problem. And who knows, maybe I could just merge all these layers together. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we're all fine. So let's save. We got that. We're going to go back to the line art because I'm not a fan of how the duck bill looks. Especially since it's very squiggly. Headed to bed. Good night, everyone. All right, there, Ryu. You go get that sleep. You go get that rest, and I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. You take care now there, buddy. Yeah, that should work a little bit better. Kind of. I'm trying to figure out, why can't I not get the duck bill effect going on there? Maybe it's because it's somewhat of a side view. Or maybe... Oh, I know what I could do to make the duck bill look a little more like a duck bill. We need to add that extra nostril. Now it looks a little more flat. Kind of. That should be good. Let's zoom out. And yeah, I think that makes that duck bill look a little more flat. But at the same time, maybe we could bring this part down again. Yeah, that should be good. That should be solid. And last but not least, for the line art, we just add duck hand, duck nub, whatever you want to call it. Something for ducks. There we go. Now for the last part. I think we'll end it with just the... Actually, it's not even 10 yet. Yeah, you know what? We could actually get a lot of this done. Let's see, I looked this up because the name was evading me and bothered me. 3D printing fact, copy, paste. Okay, let's see, 3D printing fact. The earliest 3D printer was 1981. When Dr. Hideo Kodama, I thought you were going to say Kojima right there, like, you are not telling me that the guy that made Metal Gear made 3D printing. I am not willing to believe that. All right. Invented one of the first rapid prototyping machines that was created parts layer by layer. Ah, fair. Now, more importantly, what 3D printer do I need to get? Actually, it's not even 10 yet. Stream froze for me. It has resumed on reading this. Gotcha. But yeah, what I need to figure out is what 3D printer I need to get. Because, again... Oh, right, that's what I was going to say. So, the plans that I had for 3D printing. There's a lot of plans. I wanted to make 3D figures of Lampy. I wanted to make 3D figures of the bird. I needed to make 3D figures of the mech. Especially the mech. I wanted to really make 3D figures of the mech. Because I think if there is any opportunity for 3D printing, or yeah, any opportunity to make the mech, I think a 3D printed figure is the perfect opportunity. Especially if I could give it like posing arms and stuff. I don't know if I could pull that off, but it'd be really cool if I could. The only problem is that since I'm not the one making the 3D prints, or, you know, not the 3D prints. I'd be the one making the 3D prints. It's that I wouldn't be making the 3D model. That's the one. Since I'm not the one making the 3D models, it would be someone else who has to make those 3D models, which means any of these crazy ideas that I'm cooking up here and any crazy ideas that anybody recommends here, that part would be on them, and I feel bad about that. But at the same time, I'm like, it would be a cool concept. Yo, Arcade, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. I hope things are going well. I hope things are good. Wait, I'm on the wrong spot here. Wrong layer entirely. Oh no, I'm on the right layer. It's just Why is it a new layer? Oh, right. I was trying to make a second layer for the background, but then I got distracted. But yeah, also going back to it. Folks, for those of you there, what do you think? Should I just make, You know what? I'll probably ask this one in the Discord and maybe on the socials. But what I'm thinking is what I mentioned earlier, where instead of making... What's the word I'm looking for? Instead of making the 3D printed figures and then painting them, should I let people just paint them? And when it comes to assembly, that's the real tricky part. Like, how would I go about making a Gunpla type of thing? I mean, I've seen how they're made, or I see how they're supposed to be assembled and stuff. There's a lot of parts that you're just supposed to stick together and tack together and all of that. And that looks like a lot of work to put together, let alone to design. But I wouldn't mind making a Lampy Mech Gunpla. I feel like that would be a really, really cool thing to do. Ball socket or pinned tension joints are choices for articulation. True, true, true. Need to figure out how to do it. I need to figure out if who I know can make, like, ball sockets and stuff. I also need to find out if I could say that without them laughing at the concept. Not so much the concept, but the words. Like, I'm just over there like, hey, so I got a project for you. Can you make ball sockets? Like, I'm sorry, you make a what? Like, come on, don't get your mind out of the gutter. I'm looking for ball sockets. I don't know how well that conversation is going to go, but I'm going to try anyway. Also, yes, that may have been food. All right, let's see. Quick check on never review, or let's see, on newer reviews. Consider sourcing Forge and Anycubic machine. Yes, they are still in the 300 to 600 range, but seem to be the most affordable right now. Anycubic. What's the quality of those, though? Like, what are the people saying about the quality on those? Thank you for the hydrate there, Destroyer, and the posture check and the stretch. And I hope you have a good day, a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. You take care now there, friend. I think this should work. And I think the last thing we really need to do is just work on the background a little bit. But then again, since it's the background... Actually, no, I got an idea for the background. So, new layer. We're also going to make it very, very blue. Actually, no, I take it back. Since this is a Lampy themed... Since it's Robot Chicken themed, but it's based off of... No, wait. Since it's Robot Chicken... Yeah, it's Robot Chicken concept, but it's Lampy themed. We should go with a little more of a purple. Just to give homage to the background. Although, I forgot that I never did change the color of the background. Hold on a minute. Where's the background? Where's Photoshop? I never did change the color of the background over here. It's originally supposed to be purple, but I turned it red because it was Halloween. I wanted to celebrate Christmas. So I never, and I got lazy, so I never really did change the purple back, or the red back to purple. But maybe I should do that. Although Halloween is coming up again. Maybe I should keep it, or maybe I should keep it red for a little bit longer. Also, let me see. Both companies have a solid track record, and quality issues have repeatedly been shown as buyer user error. I see, so skill issue. Understandable. All right, so Anycubic is what I need to look into. Or SourceForge. I don't think I've ever heard of SourceForge before, but I need to see the prices on printers in SourceForge. Also, thank you for the information there, Spock. I greatly appreciate that. Let's also take this purple and kind of, no, not dim, not that. Let's remove some of the saturation on that purple. There we go. Make it a little more gray. Purple mentioned. Yeah, we're making purple background. Blurple? Yeah, it's kind of a bluish purple. It's kind of a blurple. I think that's called indigo. Also, welcome on in there, Punch. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. But yeah, we're just working on the background a little bit. We're going to need to start making some squares. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Let's get that rectangle. Drag that all the way across like so. Maybe make it a little bit higher. Let's start here at the bottom. Drag it up to the top. Right here should be good. And then we kind of, you know what? Let's make this a little bit more dim. Slightly more dim. Right there should be good. We might still blind people, so fair warning. Potential flashbang in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. This actually seems relatively fun. Now we're just going to reshape this a little bit to better fit the screen. Or, you know, better fit the image. That should be good. And with that, we can actually start getting rid of a lot of other parts here. Let's get rid of those rectangles. All right, let's get rid of the sketch. This is what we currently have for our sketch at the moment. We're getting there, little by little, slowly but surely. Doing good, just arting and eating some rice. Ooh, nice. Dang, now I want rice. I need to clean out the rice cooker. I haven't had a good bowl of rice in a long time. Yeah, I'm trying to think about it. I haven't had a good bowl of rice in a good while. I just need to go get food later. You know what? I know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go to my local, I'm going to go to my local Chinese food place and just buy plain rice. You know what? I'm going to buy plain rice and fried rice. Because I haven't had a good bowl of fried rice in a while either. And it's literally right around the corner. I just wish they were open right now, but I know why they wouldn't be. Oh, also, folks, fun fact. I don't know if this works for anywhere else, but for the most part, 9 times out of 10, if you go to your local Chinese food restaurant just as they're about to close, high chance they're gonna fill your bowl, they're gonna fill your plate to the brim because they need to get rid of that food. And since you're there, you're taking it. That's usually how it goes. Like, if they still got a lot of food in that tray and you show up asking for that kind of food, they're going to put as much of that food from that tray as possible into your plate. Now, I can't guarantee that this always happens, but 9 times out of 10, that's how it usually goes. Because they just need to get that food out of there. The less food they have in their trays, the less they have to clean up. So they're, for the lack of a better term, burdening that extra food onto you. Yeah, that's a good thing. Unless you're trying to go on a diet, then it's probably best not to go at the last minute. Because if you're just trying to eat light, they're going to make sure you don't eat light at that last minute, that last hour. Yeah, not going to happen. Yeah, my local Chinese food place does that. Yeah, see, there you go. We already got testimony that it works. So go there at the last 30 minutes before they close. Maybe even the last hour. Just go there at the end, basically. All right, so next square. We're going to go to a new layer. Actually, you know what? No, let's start. I know what I could do. Select that entire square. Go to new layer. Or go to the new layer. Fill that square in. Or not so much fill it in, but go for the outline. Around here somewhere. There it is. 30. Let's see how well that works. Yeah, that works perfectly. All right, so now that we got that, I'm going to bring that square down a bit. Up to that point there. That should be good. Now we just drag the rest of these lines across, and then we erase where they need to be erased. Wherever they need to go away, that's where we get rid of them. Now we're going to need to make a new line. Let's see. New layer, one more. What we need to do next. Make that line that goes all the way across like so. Move that across there. Make one more line over there. Make a new line. Yeah, grab a new line. Flip that sucker over by a 90-degree angle. Increase the size of said sucker. There we go. Just drag that up a bit. And I think that should be the squares that we needed. All right, so now that we got that done, merge down. Merge down. That should be good. Then we go to these lines. Select the inside of that square. Go back to the layer that was above. That will delete everything that's within. And then we go to... Yeah, we just select this entire square. Select the outside of said square. Go back to the original line art. That's the one. Delete there. Go back to the previous lines before that. Delete there. And now we got all of our squares. All perfectly aligned, all perfectly shaped. Let's merge these down. Too much merged down. Merge there. And we should be good with that. We got our rectangles. We got our rectangles. We got our squares. They may not be perfectly lined up, but they fit the bill. And that's what matters. All right, let me catch up with some reading right quick. Yo, Potatoes, welcome on in. Or Potato, hope you're having a good day. Let's give a shout out to Potato. They do the streaming. They play a good variety of games. Go check them out when you get the chance. How? Oh, I didn't know you played Peak. It happens most places that pre-cook instead of slower serving times because of cook-on-order menu items. Oh, let's see. It happens most places that pre-cook instead of slower serving times because of cook-on-menu. Ah, fair. That makes sense. Again, they got the food already pre-made, and if they can't get rid of it, like as soon as someone shows up, they just pile it onto you instead. Yo, Kit Kat, welcome on in. Thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Let's give a shout out. What were you up to there, Kit Kat? Hope things be well. I hope things be good. And everybody stopping by from Kit Kat stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes I live to do rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. We're currently working on a art piece for one of our longtime regulars. It's based off of the robot chicken scene. And yeah, that's basically it. And I hope you all enjoy your day. I hope you all enjoy your stay. And if you got to take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about raiding and running because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. And how was the artin'? I hope the artin' went well. In the meantime, we're going to get back to our own artin'. We're going to get back to the drawing at hand, which I think we got the line art done. Also, this is where it started. This is how the sketch first started off. This is where we are now. And this is why I always say, start with the sketch. Don't worry about it until you're done with said sketch. Then you can clean it up after the idea is put on paper. I might be too sleepy. You said rectangle and heard... Okay, yeah, you're just sleepy and maybe... Yeah, go to bed. And thought... Didn't that happen in Spaceballs? Nah. They didn't have a rectangle, like, in Space... Wait, maybe they did. But as far as I remember, nah, the only thing they really had was that they had their Death Star go from suck to blow. Yes, you heard what I said. All right, let me see. Let's figure some things out here. Oh, right. That's what I wanted to do next. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're actually going to go back to the line art, and we need to fill in the lines here. Because I just realized if we don't fill in these lines, we're going to have to deal with that when we work on the base layer. And I'd rather not. Let's drag that there. Add that one there. Let's clean up that shape because it is not looking all that great. There we go. Perfect. Maybe a little more here. A little more there. And we are good. All right, let me see. I hate when my Schwartz gets twisted. Spaceballs. Nothing but one giant nerd, or yeah, one giant innuendo based off of a nerd movie. Yep, that parody was definitely made for nerds by nerds. Because let's be honest, leave it to nerds to make most of the dumbest innuendos. And I say that, I don't say that as an insult. I say that as, well, let's be honest. I say it as one, as a fact, and two, as a term of endearment. Leave it to the nerds to make the dumbest of jokes, or the dumbest of innuendos. You know, I've just realized over these past few streams that there's one way to there's absolutely one way, or there's a few ways. If you wanted Lampy to just absolutely rage about something, you mention a few things. You either A, mention God of War Ragnarok, B, you mention Star Wars, or C, actually, yeah, I think it's just, no. C is you mentioned the Dead Space remake. Specifically the story of the Dead Space remake. You bring up any of those three, and I'm gonna absolutely just lose my marbles. Okay, I think we got the line art there done. So now we could actually do this. Select everything on the outside. And that corner. And there, and there, and there. And there, and there, and there. And yeah, that should be everything. Select. Modify. Expand by 3. Go to a new layer. Okay, let me see. What is this? Moi Chin Sing. Or Moi Den Ching Sing. Huh? Okay. Moi Chen. Moi Chen. Moi Chen Ding Sing. I don't know what I just said. No need to approve of that message? Fair. There we go. I saw like, okay, pun. Yeah, understandable. Yeah, let's not approve that message. Like, it's not even that it was anything that was bad that was said. It's just that it was a pun. So I'm disapproving it off the bat. All right, let me see. Okay, so we have that part. Let's put that there. And now let's add said lab coat. That is not lab coat. Let's reverse that. Boom, there we go. And I just realized we also need to add or erase a couple of things here and there and everywhere. Let's erase that. That should be good. Could erase that. Go to this corner, erase that area and that area and that one and that one and that one and that one and that. All of those ones. Then one more there. And, oh, it's the whole thing there. Understandable. Have a nice day. Then we go over here and we start erasing some more. Get rid of that. And that. And that. And, oh, we're almost there. Just a few more spots. Let's get rid of there. And there. And there, and there, and there. And that's everything on that side. Let's see, is there anything we need to erase here? Maybe that corner. Just trying to look for corners that need to be removed. And yeah, no, that's everything. Okay, we got the baseline set up. What time is it? It's 10. You know what? You know what? I know we've only been here for about 30... I know we've only been here for about 3 hours. But I think this is a good spot to leave it. I'll be back on Friday. What am I going to be working on Friday? I'm not entirely certain, but I'll be back on Friday to work on something. I'll be working on this one every Tuesday. I'll be back to draw some things on Friday. And... I will be working... Well, no, I won't be working on anything yet. But I do plan on working on the traditional art piece in 1 more week. Because I don't want to work on the traditional art piece right after recovering from being sick. Because from what I last remember, even when you recover, the germs are still there. So I don't really want to work on that and send those germs to somebody else. So I'm going to leave that for next week. In the meantime, Sunday, I'm planning on playing Titanfall 2 finally. I finally got a copy for the PS4, so I don't have to deal with none of that EA bull. So, gotta work on that one. With that being said, let's go find someone to raid. Let me see who is on at this hour. I have a few ideas, but I also need to see if one person is still on in particular. Because I did say I was going to raid them eventually, but I do not see them on today, or at least I don't think I see them on today. I'm trying to look for a specific Volosaurus, but I don't think they're on today. So I will probably have to aim for somebody else. And I think I see somebody on at this hour. I see a few people on that are on at this hour. All right, folks, where do you want to go? More art or Fortnite? No, Lampy, don't go. I need plausible deniability by saying the moth on TV talks to me. I'm sorry to tell you, but I gotta get going. I gotta go get food. And I gotta work on some other off-screen projects, because I can't really work on them on-screen, unfortunately. So, I will be back at another time. You know what? I'm gonna drop you folks off with... Yeah, I'm gonna drop you folks off with somebody who's currently drawing right now. They're currently working on an emote. We're gonna go drop you folks off with a bestiary, something like that. They do art. They're working on an emote. I think that's a good place to go. We're gonna drop you folks off with some more art stream. Alrighty then. With that being said, before I go, if you want to support the channel or you want to keep up with the channel, we got a lot of different things over here. If you want to keep up with the channel, go check out the link page. Because we got the socials, we got the Twitters, we got the Blue Skies, we got the Discords. In case you ever want to know when the streams happen, you can go find out all of that stuff there. And if you want to see the funny stuff, go check out the TikTok dumb stuff there, because we put a lot of dumb stuff over there. And we're currently working on... I'm still working on the tutorial videos that are going to be on the YouTube, so if you wanted to find out how to do drawing stuff, live 2D stuff, any sort of stuff like that, we're going to be putting a lot of educational videos over there. And with that being said, let's go report the feast. Let's go raid on out. Wait, before I go, let's find out. What should the raid message be? Something about chicken. Let's... Oh, I know. I know what we could put. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's go with this emote. Science. Taste like chicken. There we go. That's our raid message. Science tastes like chicken. Oh, wait. No. I take it back. Let me try that again. Because I was talking about grammar earlier. We're going to put a exclamation point between science and tastes like chicken. There we go. That's our raid message. Use those emotes if you have them. Use whatever emotes you have if you don't. We're just going to go copy this again. We're going to go drop you folks off over there before it's too late. Let's go right into a feast. And go show them some support. Why can I not get that raid message? Or that channel name properly? There we go. They have some very chill streams over there. Also very funny people. Really awesome stuff. And let's go do the support thing. All right, there we go. Let's head on out. I'm going to go copy this message before it's too late. And with that being said, thank you all for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. If you would like to support the channel, one good way you could do so is by checking out the link page as well. We got a lot of different ways you could do. We got free affordable stuff. We got affordable models and Lampy plushies on the Etsy page. We got free stuff on the Coffee page. We got merch on the Teespring page. And if you or someone you know is looking for emotes, assets, character sheets, character concepts, any sort of stuff like that, you could find, live 2D model rigs, both big and small, whether it just be the art or just the rig. You could find, and animations, you could find all of that on the vgen page. Or you could contact me directly. Either option works just fine. With that being said, thank you all for stopping by. Always remember, you're all awesome in your own way, because you folks make these streams and this community what it is. It's awesome chatting with you folks, cracking jokes, brainstorming, all that good stuff. And if you lurk, that's great too. The fact that you took the time out of your day to have this bug rambling on and drawing in the background means more to me than you could possibly imagine. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All right, I'm going to head on out. You all get that sleep. You all have a good day, a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. You all take care now. Laters.